Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Scream Stream mini-series. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening, everybody.
How are we doing tonight, Evan?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking at these graphics,
Yeah, what do you
man.
think
Look
of
at
this?
this. Wow, you've been busy.
We're rocking a new look. Yeah, as you can tell, the layout's a little different. We're working with some new colors here.
Yeah, with some feeling pretty electric.
We are. Well,
to be
you
honest.
know, help get the energy up on these for these shows. You know, we're a high energy show, so
It's alive.
We got some cosmetic surgery to reflect our high energy vibe, and I think it matches. But you know, if it's distracting, let us know. But we're rocking it tonight. We're here. So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday evening. Thank you for joining us. We're doing good. I mean, right? It's been a.
I'm doing great, man. And you want to know why?
Yes.
If you observe, you might notice that I'm not wearing my glasses tonight because I finally made it to the eye doctor. That's right, new contacts in the house.
He made it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, how does it feel?
I feel great. My eyes feel super hydrated. I can see, which is great.
Right.
I don't have to, my glasses were getting so old and dusty. I need to put those things in a museum.
Yeah, that's the thing about, like, some people, they wait a long time to get a new pair. Sometimes they just can't get a new pair, whatever the circumstances are. And then,
I went whole hog. I
Evan,
said, sign me up the whole 9 yards. Fix me up. I got glasses and contacts.
Oh, okay. You wanted coverage. You wanted to be like,
any time of the day. I'm seeing 24/7. I'm seeing into next week is how well I can see.
Okay, very nice. So what you're saying is, Evan, you feel like a new man.
I sure do.
Okay, hell yeah, that's sick. Well, excited to hear it, and yeah, I mean that's the kind of energy we want going into the middle of a week,
That's right. Yeah, new contacts, new stream.
That's right. You're Evan's on theme. Evan knows what the show called for. We're moving on up together. We're in sync. So
I keep looking over here because I just keep looking at the new graphics.
I know they're cool, right?
Where I've got it pulled up on my monitor.
It's hard not to kind of get distracted.
I love it.
It's a fun look. So
is the thing at the top supposed to be like, it's a skull, but it's also a film reel?
Dude, so I made this today, and I'm not happy.
You made it.
I'm not happy with it. Because it's supposed to be. It's a film reel, but it's also supposed to be a skull.
Okay, it almost looks like a spider skull, even though spiders don't have skulls. But if they did, I think they would look like that.
Right. Well, yeah, and I wish I could close up in on it so you could see. That's it. Yeah, it is. It was hard trying to do graphics, trying to come up with new graphics, design new graphics. It is.
Garrett, graphic designer.
Again, I mean, I know some of our loyal viewers out there are into graphics, deal with graphics. I know Alana knows what I'm talking about. It's just one of those things that, you got to just keep kind of looking at something a million times, tweaking it just a little bit, and going, like, really moving back and, like, changing the magnification.
Speaking of tweaking, is our audio uneven?
Is it? What's what uneven? Are you quiet?
Yeah, chat says that I need to come down, you need to come up.
You, Evan, need to come... Wait. You need to come down, I need to come up.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so there's there's a fox on one microphone, and there's a
Okay.
hen and a sack of flour on the other microphone.
Okay, and maybe I need to move it. I didn't want to like move my mic up too close to my mouth because like I don't want my mic in my shot, you know? But it's like right here and it looks huge. It's not really that big, but it takes up a
That
lot of
microphone's it's the new star of the show.
it
It's the new host.
it is hogging my shot a little bit. Now when I go to the wide, it's a little bit better.
Guys,
But
do we sound a little better? Is this?
yeah, let me know if it's improved or not, and I'm gonna keep kind of trying to see if I can play with that. I got it right up here. It's a little.
We'll figure it out.
It's a little intrusive. We'll play with it. Now.
So what are we here for? What are we doing tonight?
What are we doing tonight? Don't you also love that I've added the little
Oh, great.
So now you know nobody has to ask. I mean, even though when I was doing it, I was like, is this redundant? Because like you see the title, you're watching the video, you know what we're doing.
But now you don't even have to look down.
Okay, that's good. All right, I'll play. Oh, I know what it is. I see what it is. It was the volume on my mic itself. I'm probably gonna be too loud now.
Okay.
So let me adjust that because now I'm
you're loud in my ears now.
Yeah, that was it. Well, I appreciate it. Look, and I can pull this down out of my shot now a little bit. All right, thank you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work, doesn't it? I mean, back when we started, we had nobody to help solve our technical problems. We just wallowed in it. So we appreciate you guys. Much love.
Is it too loud now? It still sounds a little. Guys, how does it sound on? Maybe it's on my end.
I turned it down on Streamlabs. It's probably still loud on your end, Evan. Because I turned it down.
I was playing with some knobs before we got started. Okay. Sounds okay. Much better. Okay. So here we go. With knobs.
Okay. You know, new makeovers, same baggage, same problems. You know, new look doesn't necessarily mean new you. So, but we're trying. So what? But of course, as you can see here on the side, wait, there we go. Here on the side tonight, we are watching Suspense, our 4th episode of Suspense. We're just moving right along through these. So I don't know. It's assessment so far. I mean, I'd say I'm enjoying it, but what are you thinking, Evan?
Yeah, I have been enjoying this. So let's see. Last week we had the what was it? It was a wax. It was kind of like a sideshow kind of.
Yeah, they were in a carnival, and there was this. He was like a murder lecturer, and he was like, you know, was he really the murderer? I think he was really a murderer or something. Or...
Yeah, I think that's how it shook out. All I remember from last week is this lady's boyfriend stomping off to go get clams and then never appearing again in the episode.
That's right, the clams. I forgot about the clams. Guy. It was about the clams. Yeah, they did. They were loving them clams. Everybody, yeah, it was brought up multiple times. And
everybody's clamming up.
This isn't the first episode where shellfish have been a major focus of the protagonist. Wasn't the episode before that? Weren't they like with the couple? Weren't they talking about? They had a lobster in their backseat, right?
They sure
They were
did.
in Maine
and
they had a lobster. So
yeah, is this just a New England show? What's going on here?
Well, I did a little bit more research, as in I read the Wikipedia page for this show, and it was filmed in New York City, so it's not there was not necessarily a New England connection that I know of, but yeah, it was Hume Cronin last time. That's right. That's who. That was the Dr. Violet, the the
Right.
episode was titled after last week.
Yeah.
This week we've got at least one familiar face from an episode we've already seen. And the title of tonight's episode is, oh God, I almost said Murderers Row. It's not Murderers Row. It's what is it's I'm gonna have to look at it. It's Murder's Meeting. Ah, yeah, I should have known. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, there it is. Murder's Meeting. So, leave you in suspense about what that could be about.
What could that
be about? I don't know. Yeah, this is from 1951, so I think this is like the third season of the show. There were like 4 seasons, I think, and 4 or 5. And it's funny because we've talked about the past couple episodes how this show is adapted from a radio show. The radio show actually lasted longer than the television show.
Okay, so this is more of just like a spinoff.
Oh, yeah. This is a spinoff that lasted 4 or 5 years. I think the radio show ran into the early 60s, actually.
Wow.
So, kind of, again, speaks to the longevity of radio at this time. And obviously, just the existence of this show speaks to the existence of Suspense, speaks to the power of radio. That it's like, oh, this fledgling medium of television, what are we going to do? What's the material? What are people going to be into? We go to existing IP. The same thing they're doing now, right? Nothing's changed.
Yep. Everybody gets excited for murder.
Mm-hmm. They do. Well, we talked, was it another episode we were talking about? It was last week. Because he was talking about Albert Fish. So we were talking about true crime. So yeah, maybe I guess
burgeoning true crime genre.
That's what this show seemed to really be. Their finger was on the pulse, I guess, when it came to true crime. So maybe that's what tonight is a little more true crime action with the twist.
You feel the pulse, what people are scared of, like lobsters.
Well, yeah, so we've had lobsters, we've had clams. So what do you think it'll be this week? What's the bets? If you were a bet man, Evan, what would you say?
Shrimp. Another shellfish. I think the person who wrote the show was just allergic to shellfish.
Okay.
That's their greatest fear.
Yeah, it's the lingering thread between all these episodes. That's what makes this anthology, like, gives it a through line, is the shellfish angle. So be on the lookout for that, because you'll see.
Okay, we've got to vote for street meat.
Street meat could be some kind of street meat. Food is going to be involved in some way. We know that. Obviously, they're hitting on something along those lines. So.
This is our hungriest season yet.
It is. It really is. Well, gosh, I mean, again, I told Evan after last week's episode, he's got to start pairing little snacks with every cocktail that he makes with the feature, because it's just the perfect thing to go along with the cocktail and the movie. So I don't know. Think about it. No, it was good. So we'll see. We'll see what's in store. What food related maladies are in store for our protagonists tonight.
What do murderers eat?
Yeah, what do murder? Well, people sometimes. We know that. Sometimes people.
Some murderers.
Some. So we'll see. Maybe it's a people eater. I think Albert Fish was a people eater. So yeah, that's right, Sears. Hungry for public domain movies, public domain TV, public domain everything. Public domain horror is kind of, we obviously, it's funny with these mini-sodes how we kind of skirt the lines with the definition of horror, are these mystery thrillers in the show Suspense? Could you classify them as horror? I think, it can be a wide umbrella if you want it to be. And we do, so it is. So
horror is just whatever you say it is.
Exactly. It is what we make it. So anything else before we get into it tonight, Evan?
Yeah. We gotta keep this episode quick. I got a murderers meeting. Homicide Anonymous.
Look out. Homicide Anonymous. What are you guys just sharing your stories, just having a good time?
Well, it's not really a good time. It's I don't think you're supposed to have glory stories at the anonymous meeting.
Well, it's a bunch of serial killers meeting. They're just gonna all brag about it. Thank you, Sears. Appreciate it. They do appreciate the compliments. Again, we want feedback. We love your feedback. We're trying to make these changes that we hope you'll like. So, it's awesome. Yeah. Well, on that note, Evan, if you have it queued up,
I'm ready.
then we are going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of Suspense Murders Meeting right now.
And now, Autolite and its 96,000 dealers everywhere present Suspense.
Mildred Natwick. We've seen her before. I'll let you guess. God, a big cast.
Working late tonight, Mr. People. It's raining hard out. Good night. Night.
Oh shit. I don't know about a murder, but we definitely got a thief.
Who's there?
Uh-oh.
Who's that? Is you Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson.
Surprised to see me? He can't go in there. It was employees only.
Hello, Joe.
Breaking all the rules.
Yeah,
There's a guy
that's illegal.
in the building that's just committed a murder.
We cover the whole building. We take it floor by floor, corridor by corridor.
Carada.
Can't get away, we got all night. Where's the body?
It's in the jewelry shop up on the 4th floor.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we've got like a reverse Die Hard situation.
I get, yeah, technically. He's trapped in this building. That's Jackie Cooper, who had a long career. We'll talk about it during the break.
So who's gonna get knocked off of Nakatomi Plaza?
Clearly the janitor guy.
It was right there.
Oh, okay, there you go, Alana. That's cool. See, I never heard of Alvin Sappinsley.
Probably big into shellfish.
Probably.
Look! Sure. Robbery, too. Let's go. All right, you guys. Fan out. Me and Pop here will cover this floor and the 5th floor. You start at the 3rd floor and work your way down to the basement. No doubt he'd come back for the body, but he's still in the building. We'll get him.
Uh-oh.
That's a mop closet.
Gotta hide with the mops.
He's really good at hiding.
Blending in.
I think that cop's in on it.
I think the worker.
Yeah, I just noticed the old-timey telephone on the wall.
See, I like when I was like 5 or 6. Remember my grandparents getting rid of their rotary phone, and it was like a big deal.
I love playing with the rotary phone. As a kid.
That was great. It was so
wind
much
it up
fun.
and you watch it just go. Psh.
Mr. Anderson, we were so afraid you wouldn't be able to come.
I'm really
My goodness, we
sorry.
thought you might have gotten lost in the storm.
By George, yes, just remarking the idea here. What a lark, eh? The great man himself getting lost on the way here, eh?
Here's a matter of fact. My dear, don't you matter.
I say.
Send someone out to find you. Twice fellow there.
Yeah. Well, the point is that Mr. Anderson's here, so all's well that ends well. Who's a late member of our fraternity. Now, I'll introduce you, Mr. Anderson. You probably guessed, this is Duncan Dixon. Of course, you know Duncan's work. The Inspector Beddington series, his latest Dirty Doings in Albert Hall is quite a masterpiece. Quite a
Oh, we got a bunch of authors.
And over here is Ace McCoy. Ace,
What?
this is Mr. Anderson.
How do you do?
Naturally.
What? You're just gonna ignore that.
Oh, yes. Yes, I followed them all over.
And this
Hey, they're writers, they're weirdos.
man who's responsible for Dwight Fallow, the analytical genius. And here's Betsy Lyons, the one who wrote Murder in the Sorority Supper, or The Scorpion in the Daisy Chain. Now you know it's all, Mr. Anderson. Come and have a drink. You must be cold.
You haven't introduced yourself. Anderson, old boy, this is Nadia Demarest, our high priestess of crime and author of the Sir Anthony books.
This is Sir Anthony. Well, now I'm sure
Oh,
I
my
speak
God.
for all of us when I say that it's not only a pleasure but a privilege to welcome the great Bothwell Anderson, creator of the world-renowned Sedgwick the Sleuth, to our regular monthly meeting of the International Association of Assassins.
Now zoom in on the cat.
Yeah?
How many books has that cat written?
It's a great question.
Right. Right, keep on going. 3rd and 2nd floors clear. They're on their way to the basement. Who was the guy that was murdered?
His name was Anderson, Gunnar Anderson. That's all I know about him.
Looks like simple burglary to me. Didn't know the proprietor was in. They got into a fight and he bopped them off. What's on the top floor?
The storerooms mostly, they're always locked. Oh yeah, I forgot in the murderers meeting.
What's that? Murderers, what's this?
Murderers. Once a month they meet up on the 5th floor. They got a clubroom.
What did you say?
Murderers? And the murderers...
Mortis? What?
They ain't real murderers. They're authors.
Oh,
The stooge.
You know, Anderson, old man, it's quite an honor having you with us. We all know you never come to town. Spend all your time on that island of yours. Where is it again?
Where's what?
Oh, that island you live on, somewhere off the coast. I can't remember. The Vineyard, isn't it? Or Nantucket? Which?
How'd you like another transfusion, Mac? Hey, how's that new bookie who's coming along? Mike tells me he's gonna knock them for a loop.
Well, I don't think we'd better wait any longer. I think the others have been delayed in the storm, so if you're ready...
You're right, Sears. It's the cat.
Ready to begin.
Now, we're going to start. Come along, all you killers. Come along.
They're not gonna save the cat. They're gonna kill the cat.
Coming, Mr. Anderson?
No, he's got a drinking problem.
Now.
Why, your lecture.
Lecture. Lady, you mean...
Please come
Come
forward.
on, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Are you ill?
No. No, I just thought I heard somebody knocking at the door.
Why do these doors look so fake?
You want me to give a lecture?
Hmm.
All right, lady,
I
all right.
wonder why.
Now, what do you want me to talk about? You just name it, and I'll talk about
Now,
it.
you come right over here, Mr. Anderson. Sit down on the sofa, so we can all enjoy your talk. Now, tonight, as you know, it's the pleasure and the privilege of the International Association of Assassins to hear a talk by the man who has unquestionably arrived at the position of America's most famous writer of mystery stories, Bothwell Anderson, creator of Sedgwick the Sleuth.
Yeah, here.
Now, as you know, Mr. Anderson's a very retiring person, so we can consider ourselves extremely fortunate that he has consented at last, after much persuasion, to quit his sanctum sanctorum and journey to our little gathering.
Yeah, here.
So, without further ado, I give you our guest of the evening, Bothwell Anderson, who will speak to us on his latest Sedgwick novel, Someone Shot Mr. Simmons.
Who better to improv a
Someone
murder
shot-
story than a murderer?
Well, I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it. Well, there was this guy, see? And he was just going in to rob this jewelry store.
I beg pardon. What guy?
This guy we've been talking about, this here Sedgwick.
Not a writer.
Mr. Anderson. Why should Sedgwick commit burglary?
Well, he's down on his luck. Yeah, that's it. Down on his luck, see?
There
Don't
you
know,
go.
And he can't get a job. On account of he did a stretch once. And nobody will hire an ex-con, even if he tries to go straight.
Lord, never knew Sedgwick have been in quad.
What's that?
What's what?
Quad.
So anyway, all he wanted to do was grab some stuff and then run for it, see? He didn't want to kill anybody. He never bumped a guy in his life before.
You mean
Sure.
Sedgwick commits murder? Holy smokes, this'll blow the business wide open.
Well, the other guy wouldn't keep his hands up. He didn't want to kill him, but the other guy had to...
They're
fight.
just
He had to
getting
make trouble.
sauced the whole time.
So how did Sedgwick pull the bomb?
He hit him. Yeah, he hit him with the butt of his gun. Then the other guy hit him, and they both fell down unconscious. And when Sedgwick wakes up, there's this other guy lying on the floor, dead. So, the cops are coming. Sedgwick has to take it on the lam.
Well done. I say bravo. Good show,
No,
boy.
no.
Jolly good
That's it,
show.
no.
Great idea, Manson. Great idea. Sedgwick accused of murder. That's a great idea. Now, how do you get out of it?
Hey, go on, old boy. You can't stop there. What does Sedgwick do?
How do you get out of it, Anderson? Tell us the solution.
Oh, now you're stuck.
Now what?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the real Mr. Anderson?
All right. Now, where do you think you're going? I beg your pardon. What are you doing around here? The building is closed. I have an appointment at 10 o'clock at night. With who? My dear man. Now, just answer the question. May I know your reason for asking them? Why not? There's a guy been murdered here. We're kind of looking around to find the guy who done it. Someone's been murdered? My word. Well, I didn't do it. I just got here. What's your name? My card.
Bothwell.
Anderson, eh? Who's Bothwell Anderson? I am Bothwell Anderson.
It's the card.
Mr. Anderson, tell us what happens now.
Oh my God.
So then the guy, he goes to the top floor and he,
Oh, they're all bearing down on him. And that is where we're going to take our break. So that was the exciting beginning of Suspense Murders Meeting. What are we thinking so far, Evan?
I honestly think this is incredibly cute that they have this little club
Cute.
of writers. I think it is cute. They gather around, get drunk, and call each other killer.
Yeah, they are kind of like just making a party of it, right? It doesn't seem
Like it's weirdly wholesome for a club about murder fiction.
Yeah, that's true. They all are very like, ah ha ha. So fix a drink and tell us how your detective solves his latest crime. You know, what crazy deaths have you come up with recently? That's all they want to know about, right? Like,
also, I don't know. Like these are all authors.
right?
Professional authors, and they seem very impressed by this guy's story about. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that this is an impressive tale he's woven?
No, I mean
Guy
he's
murdered.
he's
The burglary.
yes,
gone wrong.
anding the whole thing. He's just trying to placate these people so he can keep the ruse up, and he's literally. You know, they're filling in the gaps for him, right? Like they're being nice to him. They're giving him like, okay, we'll tell us this part. You didn't tell us that part. And he's like, oh yeah, so that's really this fills in, that explains that. And they're like, oh okay. So he's got like
Do you think he was telling the truth about also getting knocked out? Like, is this going to be a like he's being framed for murder?
No, he definitely is just
Definitely
sugarcoating it. It's way worse than even the story he told. He's definitely lying to make himself sound like, oh, I've never killed a guy before, and I didn't want to do.
Kill a guy. Then why did you bring the gun?
Exactly. So unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna work out for him, but we'll see what happens. I mean, so far, you know, I can say they're fulfilling the title of the shows. It's suspense. They're keeping me.
That's all.
How's he gonna get? You know, if anybody's gonna solve, like, if anybody's gonna really do some ridiculous thing to end this, it's gonna be 7 detective novelists in a room drinking alcohol, right? Like, come on, they gotta come up with a brilliant way to subdue this killer, or I'm like,
Yeah, they're gonna help him get away, and then the cops are gonna show up, and they're gonna go, "Oh, oops."
they are gonna help him get. How would you be surprised? Would you really be surprised if they? I wouldn't be surprised at all if they have.
No, probably not. No, they say it's they're just researching their next novel.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If we tie together all the bed sheets in this apartment, can we make a rope that this guy can rappel down the side of the building?
I mean, yeah, who knows? Again, what they just start all like brainstorming out loud crazy stuff, and it just makes it all happen. They've all find out that their powers combined, they can actually bring their writings into reality.
Yeah, they're gonna throw the mattresses out the window, and then the guy's gonna jump off the fire escape.
Could be. We'll see. Or just get him really liquored up and have him jump for it. It can't be that tall of a building. Come on.
Yeah, what did they say? 10th floor? Come on.
Yeah, he can. There's got to be like a balcony or a flagpole or something that he can kind of catch himself halfway down on, right?
Yeah, Sears, I hope you're right. I hope that they don't believe him. He goes off, "You're not the real Anderson."
I would love that if they didn't believe that this super snooty guy who's like clearly, like they said, oh yeah, this guy's reputation for being fussy, blah blah blah, and then that guy walks in and they're like, no, I can't be you. No, this he's the real thing. He's already told us this great story. So I don't.
Somebody call the cops. It's the murderer.
Yeah. They're just gonna frame him. That's probably what they're gonna do. They're gonna switch it around, more than likely. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, so far, so good. Keeping us entertained, keeping us engaged. The cast is interesting here.
Yeah. So who was that name you pointed out earlier?
So can any guesses?
What was the name again? Can I get a...
So I'll tell you what episode they were in. How about that? They were in the the country. Yes, that's it. Mildred Natwick. That's right. So do you remember which episode? I just said it.
Well, you just said country, so I'm gonna say
I gave it away.
Is it the hysterical woman from that episode?
She is the hysterical woman from that episode. Okay. From On a Country Road. That was the episode.
Have we seen her yet? I didn't. Is she one of the?
She was the lady with the cat.
Oh, I didn't even. Okay, I didn't
even
recognize her.
Yeah,
I was too busy looking at the cat, honestly.
It was a distracting, prop.
Yeah,
a live moving prop.
Me with a cat.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
There could be a murderer happening. And
he'd be looking, hey, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. Yeah. Nah, that's definitely. She's much more like bubbly than she was when we saw her last time. When she was like,
she had cats in that episode too.
Oh, that's right. She did have cats. She loved it. She's
2 for 2 for being a cat lady.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she have like 20 cats or something?
She had a bunch. She had like some specific like Avanesian cats or something.
It was like a way too insane amount of cats. Like I've had
too many cats.
We had a lot of cats at my house one time growing up, unintentionally. But if you're just a person that decides you're just gonna house 20-something cats, that might be a little, you might want to. She was right up the road from the mental hospital. She could have walked right down the street and gotten herself looked at any time. But I don't know. She was good in that episode though, for being the not the killer, just a really neurotic woman. Thought she did a pretty good job. So here the pendulum is swinging in the other direction.
Yeah. Maybe it's the same. Is it the same character? Is this,
it's the same actor. I don't know if it's the same character. It could. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah, we haven't seen the other room of this apartment. Maybe it's full of cats.
That's right. It could be full of cats. She's like. She got a big like lawsuit settlement from that couple for them like stabbing her, and so with all that money,
put a nice apartment on the 10th floor.
She did. She got herself cleaned up. She got herself some jewelry, some fancy clothes. She got a typewriter. She started writing mystery novels, and she started having parties. But she kept her cats.
Based on a true story, my harrowing tale of when I was almost killed by reckless tourists.
That's right. That's what started it when she started the thing. Oh my god.
There we go.
That's wild.
This show's got lore. We've got an overarching story going.
It does. It really does. Okay. I'm in. I'm sold. You got me. I want to know. I hope she's in all the episodes. I hope that there's some kind of universe here. You're setting me up for it, show. You better deliver it now. We'll see.
Welcome to the Autolite cinematic universe.
That's what we need. If this is all public domain, we could just do the Autolite cinematic universe. That'd be great. I think we could pull it off. I think we're the people to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. So we'll see. Yeah, there's some other not familiar to us per se, but maybe some of our viewers out there, some familiar faces in tonight's episode. The murderer is played by an actor named Jackie Cooper, who actually he had a really long career because he started as a child actor in The Little Rascals. And
Okay.
Our Gang was what they were first called, was Our Gang, and then he did that for like 3 or 4 years when they like moved into talkies, because that series started in the silent era. Then the talkies came around. He did that for a few years, then acted like basically throughout his whole life, and is probably familiar to a lot of people from the 80s, 70s, and 80s Superman movies, where he played the newspaper editor, whose name escapes me. Is that Perry White? I don't know I'm not a comic book guy. I'm not a Superman guy. So I couldn't tell you what the editor of is it the Daily Planet? Is that who he writes for?
Daily Planet. I don't know what the guy's name is.
But I believe that's who he played in the Superman movies. So, but he did a lot of TV. He also directed. So he had a really long career. And then...
Can we throw it out to the audience? I'm kind of curious now. What was Superman's boss's name? And also imagine being Superman's boss.
Well, I mean, Evan, come on, get it right. You're not Superman's boss. You're Clark
right,
Kent's.
Clark's boss.
Get it right. Okay, there's he doesn't. You see, because Evan, because the editor doesn't know that Clark Kent, when he goes into the phone booth and disappears, and Superman comes out, he doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman. Did you?
Right. This is just my really buff reporter.
I needed to explain it to you, Evan, because I wasn't sure if you knew how it worked.
How alternate egos work.
How Superman specific
what the rules are of Superman.
Yeah, what are the rules when it comes to Superman?
Somebody explain to me the rules.
Yeah, we're not. That's what the murderer is saying tonight to these writers. Will you just explain to me the rules of storytelling, please? So I can just try to get myself out of this situation. He's trying. He's working. He's working on. Oh, okay, Kathy, I was right. It was Perry White. I was right. Perry White. Celebrate with some Barry White.
Very nice.
Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we're so I'm trying to think. There's the
good question here is what does he do with his cape? Is it like rolled up, like up on his shoulders, or do you think he just tucks it into his pants?
It's gotta be some kind of like Kryptonian fabric, right?
Okay.
Because I mean, we talked a lot about fashion when we watched Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe. And again, you're talking about beings from outer space, and that their fashion is immaculate. They're making these clothes from, like materials that we can't even fathom as humans, right? So I think that
the materials are so strong you can't even sew them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't worry about how Superman hides his stuff, okay? I think he's got it figured out. I think, we don't add the less questions asked, the better, obviously. Yeah, Evan's, I guess Superman couldn't wear contacts, right? Because of the...
Fooling anybody.
I'm all... Okay, there we go. Yeah, you're not, right? You're not fooling anybody with those with the contacts and the thing is doesn't he have a heat vision or some kind of laser vision or something?
Yeah, he's got like laser eyes.
So it does, maybe your like laser eyes, the X-ray vision, whatever you've got, and the contacts like don't mix,
Yeah, Yeah, it kind of seems like your contacts would just melt onto your eyes. That would that's not good. No.
Yeah, it would just reflect the rays right back to him. Could Superman be killed? Okay, that's a question for all you superhero fans out there. Could Superman be killed by his own eye lasers.
But you think his weakness is just a mirror?
Yeah, could you just reflect his own eye lasers back at him and then... Psst, or do you think he has some kind of, like, resistance? Isn't he, like, not, like, impenetrable to, like...
He's impervious to lasers, is that the thing?
Something... I don't know. Again, I'm a horror guy. This is why, okay? Because if you want to know about the rules of Frankenstein, I got you covered.
Yeah, Frankenstein impervious to lasers.
Exactly. Everybody knows that. I mean, that's just common sense. So, yeah.
Garrett, do you remember the ads for X-ray glasses?
Wait, what do you mean? Do I remember the ads?
I remember that being a thing. Whenever I was a kid, I thought that was like real. Like I really wanted to just like I thought it was like. I don't know why I thought it was real, but that you could just order these out of like a magazine or something. But when you're a kid, you just believe anything.
Yeah, it's funny the collective consciousness of childhood, what everybody is like, captures.
It feels like anything is possible.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Sea monkeys with it's these things that you're just like. As a kid, you're just like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. It's whatever it is. And it, usually doesn't always work out. It's kind of your childhood dreams. That's why, they're dashed. And you have to grow up. That's why all those things are duds. That's why it's all.
Lying to kids, how heartwarming.
Isn't it?
How sentimental.
That's what growing up is all about. So you're learning some life lessons tonight here on the Scream Stream. So glad we can provide those. Well, we've got to provide the second part of tonight's episode of Suspense. So we're about to get into our break, which is, of course, an Autolite commercial. Because they're the sponsor. So we gotta be enjoying our Autolite. So excited for that. Anything before we get into our break, Evan?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, on that note, enjoy this Autolite commercial, and when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Suspense Murders Meeting. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Here in New York, the kind of a balmy spring day that makes you think of love in bloom. So I thought during our brief intermission tonight it would be appropriate to take a look at the cartoon story of Romeo and Rosemary and their big romance. As a matter of fact, they're about to elope. You see, all they have to do is get in the car and they'll be on their way. All our hero has to do is step on the starter and... uh-oh, nothing happens. Oh, the car won't start because Romeo forgot to fill his battery with water and it's as cold as last year's kisses. But from the look of Rosemary's father's kisser, things are going to be pretty hot any minute. Well, you see, friends, Romeo picked out the worst possible time to find out that a dry, dead battery means that your car just won't start. And that's why it's mighty important to make sure that your car is equipped with an Autolite Stay Full battery. You know, that's the famous battery that needs water just 3 times a year in normal car use. Now, I'd like to show you why. You see, in the ordinary battery, small particles keep flaking off the positive plates. So the ordinary battery has to have a large space in the bottom of the case to hold those particles, otherwise they'll get together and short-circuit the plates. But there's a big difference in the new Autolite Stay Full battery. Every positive plate has a fiberglass retaining mat protecting it, holding the active materials in place to reduce that flaking. You see, there's the fiberglass, the feature that gives such real advantages to the Autolite Stay Full battery. Now, while the ordinary battery requires this much extra space below the plates, the Autolite Stay Full battery doesn't need all that extra space, so we use it to advantage by putting it up above. Now, if we put electrolyte in both batteries, there's space left up above for extra water. But you see, an ordinary battery holds only this much extra water, while the Autolite Stay Full battery, with that extra space, holds over 3 times the liquid reserve of ordinary batteries. And that's why your Autolite Stay Full battery needs water just 3 times a year in normal car use. That's right, just 3 times a year in normal car use. And friends, here's something else that you definitely should know. The Autolite Stay Full battery gives longer life in tests conducted according to accepted life cycle standards. So why don't you enjoy the advantages of greater safety, greater convenience, and longer life with an Autolite Stay Full battery? You know, all you have to do is look for this sign right here. That's where you'll find an Autolite battery dealer, and he'll have an Autolite Stay Full battery for your car, along with the special tools needed to install it properly. And he also has special battery test equipment to give you the best in battery advice and service. Well, now, getting back to finish up our story of Romeo and Rosemary, it turns out that Pop didn't want to stop the elopement after all. No, he just wanted to give them a wedding present. So now they really are on their way. After a quick visit to the JP, they roll down Happiness Highway, proving once again you're always right with Autolite.
And we are back. So that was the commercial for Autolite, the sponsor of Suspense, which, again, spark plugs. That's Autolite's whole thing. So you got a nice little spark. Is that what it is about? Spark that one, or was it about your battery?
That was the battery one.
How was a battery one?
They're Stay Full. Their batteries are so wet.
Oh,
wet battery.
Oh, can you say that on television in 1951?
Can I?
Can you say the batteries are wet? Oh, it seems a little scandalous, doesn't it?
Look, the other guy's batteries bone dry. Our batteries sopping wet.
Oh my God! Yeah, you couldn't even get away with that nowadays on TV. Luckily, in 1951, the censors didn't really exist, so you could be a little bit raunchy. You could try to get away with stuff.
I just liked the dad in that cartoon, how disappointed he looked.
Well, I mean, again, 50s dads, right? I mean,
he didn't look disappointed that they were sneaking off. He looked disappointed that the car wouldn't start. Like,
I just changed the spark plugs 2 days ago. It should be running like brand new. That's you know. I mean, again, yeah. Dad in 1952 is way more concerned about car maintenance than whether his child is, you know, that's on the bottom of the totem pole, you know. He's got to make sure that he's keeping up his automobile. Don't want to look bad in front of the neighbors. Who gives a
right? He says my baby, but he's not talking about his daughter.
No, absolutely not. It's all about the cars. So, yeah, if we learned anything from that Autolite commercial. So, yeah, I hope that the rest of these have fun little Autolite commercials. We'll see. I don't know. But, yeah, we're excited that they could be sponsoring the murder that hopefully will happen. Well, we've already seen one murder tonight, right? You think we'll see?
Yeah. Are we gonna get another?
I mean, hasn't this show had like a fairly decent body count?
It really has. Yeah, we've gotten.
I mean,
especially we started off really strong, but we've had a pretty consistent. We might get another body. I don't know. We'll see.
I would hope. Last week we didn't even have. We had a lot of murder talk, but I don't know that we actually had anybody murdered. stirred. Well, no.
Yeah, maybe not last week. We just
No.
I think we might get, so the writer's gonna go to the top floor, right?
Yeah.
Cop's gonna follow him up there, and he's gonna go, I don't know which one to shoot. I don't know which one is the real Mr. Anderson.
No, one of those classic.
One of
Yeah,
those.
you gotta have a twist, so it's
He's
gonna
a
be
clone.
one of those tropey moments. Okay, I can see it. I'm here for it. We'll see. Again, there's a lot of characters in this episode, so I think that you can stand to up your body count to more than even 2. Because
Yeah, how
remember,
many he's got 5 bullets left, right?
I think
How
so.
many people were in that room?
At least 5. So I don't know. I think the first episode that we watched of Suspense that had Karloff in it, I think that had a body count of like 4 or 5. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that one had a lot of goons.
It did.
Goons,
A lot of
to dispose of.
disposable, right?
Yeah, a lot of disposable characters.
Yeah, here I don't know. These important writers might be missed.
Yeah,
so.
these people actually have names. They're not just random
Yeah.
types.
So we'll see. They might end up. They might spare the writers. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know. Did I already ask you anything else before we get into it, Evan?
Well,
and I just cut you off.
All I can think is, maybe this guy could have gotten away a little sooner if he just filled up that battery.
That's what it is. That's all he needed to do.
Wait a second, does autolight lead to crime? Does autolight batteries facilitate unlawful behavior?
I think it might. Hold on. I messed with our shit. There we go. We're good. We're fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
We're back.
I don't know what I did. I don't know. My remote got all messed up, so It's fine. I'll just have to switch it manually. We're fine. Everything's fine. So on that note, Evan, if you have it queued up.
Yeah, do you have the time code? I'm at 12:45.
I am at 12:44.
Okay.
Well, we're close.
We'll synchronize our watches here.
Gentlemen, synchronize your watches.
I am ready.
All right. Well, then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Suspense Murders Meeting. I got it right now.
Now, Act 2 of Murderers Meeting, starring Jackie Cooper with Mildred Natwick and Wally Cox.
Well, Anderson, correct, my good man. No doubt you've read some of my works. The Sedgwick the Sleuth series. And here's a copy of my latest. Someone Shot Mr. Simmons.
He's just giving out copies.
He just carries around a hardback copy of his
One
book.
of those mystery writers like the ones they have in the meeting upstairs. I am presently the lecturer to the International Association.
Someone shot Mr.
Well, I
Simmons.
guess it's okay for you to go up. But tell them there's a killer loose in the building. I'll be up myself in a few minutes. Oh.
Right after I finish this book. Aww. Oh, that cop's gonna kill him.
Tell us what happens now.
What do you mean, what happens now?
Why? Tell us the solution.
Yes. Go on, old boy. You
Tell us the solution. We must know.
do?
Well, what do you want him to do?
Well,
Well, I mean, it's quite clear to me that Sedgwick only thinks he's the murderer. Actually, it was somebody else who was lurking in the background.
Nah, you got it all wrong. Of course Sedgwick done it.
But he mustn't. Detectives can't commit murder.
It's not the usual thing, I must confess.
But there wasn't anyone else there, just the owner of the jewelry store and me, Sedgwick.
Yes.
Oh, come on now. That's too big of a slip.
Why, that he didn't do the murder at all. After all, it was an entirely different person. A third party, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
Well, you wrote the book, Mac. You ought to know.
I think I see what you've done, Mr. Anderson. Very clever of you. I use the same device in my book, Clowns Can't Cry. See, actually,
Who could that be? Tom?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hear there's a killer loose on the premises, and I thought you should be warned.
Good gracious, a what?
A killer. He evidently murdered the proprietor of the jewelry store downstairs on the 4th floor. It seems there was a holdup. The man put up a struggle, and the killer crushed in his skull with the base of a lamp.
Good Lord, this is very extraordinary. I say, who the devil are you?
And my card.
My God.
Everybody, this card says Bothwell Anderson.
Why, that's ridiculous. Here is Bothwell Anderson.
That's so. I am Bothwell Anderson.
And this
Aye.
book proves it.
Don't anybody make a move.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dang.
Now just stay right where you are. First one of you that makes a move, the girl gets killed. Now you're going to stand right there and just keep your mouth shut. Officer, that's your man. He's the murderer. Don't make a move and the girl...
Well, that was easy.
Get up. Everybody stand away from that door.
Do you realize what's happened?
We've been told the story of the murder that took place here tonight twice.
Keep quiet. I'm going to arrest you.
No, he's threatened to kill Betsy.
He's dangerous.
There's no way off that terrace except through here, so if you just bide your time, he's bound to come back this way.
Okay, then we'll wait.
what are you going to do?
Shut up.
There's no way out. Unless you want to jump.
She's putting ideas in his
Why do you
head.
care what my name is?
You're not Bothwell Anderson. Who are you? There's no way out. Except through there.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll go through there.
Yeah, I noticed
Hey, you
that,
in there?
Sears.
You better come out. You don't stand a chance. I'm coming out.
Was it ripped off or was it never finished?
I'm walking out. I'm taking the girl with me. Now, I warn you. You make one move and the girl gets killed. I warned you. Don't let you leave this room. You've caused enough trouble as it is.
Betsy, are you all right?
Yes.
This is all your fault.
Listen, everybody.
Damn
Remember my
writers.
warning. Clowns can't cry. Remember the situation. Two men had a fight and knocked each other unconscious.
Yes. And when one of them woke up, the other one was dead. He naturally assumed that he was the one who had committed the murder.
When in reality, it was an entirely different person. One who'd planned to kill his victim. He came upon them both unconscious.
Hey, you think the murder's what happened here tonight?
Crushed in with the base of a lamp.
The man who was up here before said he hit him with the butt of a gun.
So he did.
Hey, you want a drink, Mr. Anderson? You wait right here.
Whoa, weird.
Keep your eyes open, Mac.
He's really good at hiding. Lest we forget the opening, like 3 minutes.
He's still in the building. He can't get away.
Yeah, he could just go back to that mop closet.
Five will get you 10, it's him.
How do you know?
Because he came busting in here and he knows all the details. How's he know them?
Good Lord. Nadia. Nadia.
Look at their names. Anderson, the writer, and Anderson, the jeweler. Well, what do you want to bet they're brothers?
And Anderson was carrying on with Anderson's wife, perhaps.
What?
What?
They got too drunk and now they're conspiring against one of the other writers. He's a murderer. I know it.
Let's keep this Bothwell Anderson here till the policeman comes back. We can't let him leave.
All right. Leave it to me. I say, Anderson, old man, you know, all this reminds me of one of my earlier stories. The body in Belgrave Square.
Oh, indeed, sir.
Yes, indeed, sir. Inspector Bennington was in charge of the case, and as soon as they got a lead on who they thought the criminal was, they discovered that the man had escaped.
Gotta get the rest of the jewels.
I don't understand why he didn't just get the fuck
You're
out.
under arrest. Now, wait a minute. I haven't killed anybody.
Say, this looks like the guy I seen running out of here.
Now, just a minute. Listen to me. I haven't murdered anybody. If you'll just come back upstairs with me, I can explain this whole thing.
Sure, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do, including what you did with the body. Where is it?
The body? Oh, you mean Gunnar Anderson? All right, let me show you.
Okay, let's go.
Intrigue.
Came from behind the curtain, don't you know, and confronted the bloke. The chap was simply shaking in his
Yes, Sears very Agatha
Look out, there's
Christie.
no-
This is all very interesting and all that, but I really must be getting on.
No, but
No,
I want...
Mr. Anderson, Duncan hasn't finished his story yet. I'm sure you want to hear the climax.
I'm sure you'll want to hear it.
You mean the body's in here? Open the door, I'll show you. Okay. Get in.
Officer, I'm so glad you come back. We have the most amazing news for you.
Keep quiet. Well,
We
where's the
figured
body?
it out.
Right there.
Gunnar Anderson.
Hello, Pop.
Oh, but you're dead. I saw your body.
Keep quiet. What's your name?
My card.
Never mind your card. What's your name? This is Bothwell Anderson, the famous author.
Also Gunnar Anderson, the dealer in rare gems. One never knows, officer, when it's necessary to have an alternative profession.
Suppose you tell us who you really are.
What?
I'll be delighted to
What?
tell you what happened. But I warn you, everything I tell you is copyrighted. Try to if somebody don't start talking sense around here, I'll run a lot of you in.
We gotta stop
Now, did
watching.
the watchman find you on the floor of your shop, or didn't he? He did.
Yeah,
Just
this
as
isn't
it
his story
intended
isn't public domain.
You see, officer, a great many years ago, when I was a young, unpublished writer, I was refused admittance to the International Association of Assassins. I decided then that if ever I became established, I'd pay them back. What? Today, I got my opportunity. I'd been invited a week ago to come here and address them. And so, I enlisted the aid of this young man. Oh, allow me to introduce you. Mr. O'Keefe. Who is
What?
also a writer of mystery stories, but who, like myself, has been refused admission to this select group.
You mean that this has all been a trick?
Precisely.
It was all a ruse.
Oh my god, this is
It
some...
appears that I've succeeded admirably. You see, officer, there's been no murder, and there's been no robbery.
No, there's been no robbery and there's been no murder. But by golly, I'd like to run a lot of you all in.
On what charge, officer?
There ain't no charge. But if I was a congressman or a representative, there'd be one. I'd make
What?
it a crime to write books.
Wow, that's a little... It might be stepping on the First Amendment there a little bit, guy.
Just a minute, folks. Aren't you going to let me read my story to you? Oh,
No.
please. After I've waited all these years? Please?
What?
What?
The meeting will please come to order.
Murderer's Meeting by Robert O'Keefe.
It's the whole thing that just happened to him. Oh my god.
Wow.
That was something else. You're always right with Autolite. God, Oh, gotta give the extra plug to the. Oh, well, here we go.
To the sponsor. Yeah, check out this
Gotta
battery.
get the cast and the. Nice. Somebody's pulling this paper through this big battery. Sick. Suspense.
Next week, No Friend Like an Old Friend. A story well
Next
calculated
week, more
to keep you in
suspense.
More suspense. Keep you in suspense. Well, they did. And, wow. Well, that was Suspense. What did we think, Evan?
Oh man, tonight's episode was nuts.
Wild.
This is I'm still. I feel like I'm still digesting this.
Yeah, trying to like actually work through in your mind what the twists were.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind fuck, but yeah. So I think the officer could still arrest them. Like, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to make everybody in the building think there's been a murder.
Yeah,
like,
this whole
fake
ruse.
police report or something.
Yeah, yeah. There's got to be some laws that were broken to carry this out, right?
Yeah, like me. Meanwhile, there's an actual jewelry store getting actually robbed, and an actual victim getting actually murdered. But these policemen, they've got like 5 guys in here. They were just wasting their time.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, it's. Oh God! I keep hitting the wrong damn button. It's funny.
And there wasn't even any shellfish.
No, well, that's true. You're right. We were disappointed. They did really let us down on that front tonight. I really did hate to see that, they couldn't keep the streak going with the shellfish, unfortunately. So, what are you going to do? I don't know. You know what? We didn't get any eating, but you know what we did get a lot of? Drinking. I mean, they're writers, right? Don't you love that? That's just part of the character of these writers is they're all just getting sauced the whole time. I think that makes it really, honestly, more authentic than anything else. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I mean, like you said, I'm still trying to work through the twist. Whether or not the thing is, like, I've seen this. I feel like everybody's seen at least one movie or TV show like this, right? Where they cop.
Where it kind of plays out like this.
Yeah, it's like none of these murders really happened. It was all just a ruse to get one over on you and
to get into this club. Like, also for starters, I mean, this club,
this club, really?
You're going through this much trouble for these people.
Yeah, I don't know about that, right? I don't.
Seem like a good time, but this is a lot, man.
It is, yeah. It's kind of funny how he pulls the gun on them at the end, and it's like the first thought that went into my head is like, is it a prop gun? Maybe, like,
right? Yeah.
Is that make it okay? Like, not really, but
I mean, and also, I don't think the cop's gun was a prop. He took a hostage. That's illegal.
True. Yeah, he did take. Yeah, he definitely skirted some laws on that one when he.
like, what would have happened if the cop shot at the guy and then hit that woman by accident? What's he gonna say? Well, I guess there's room in your writing group now. Come in now, please.
I feel like I've seen that movie recently though too, where oh wait, I did. Okay, I know what movie I'm thinking of with that, where a prank gone wrong. But it is funny to think about, like, the whole idea of this whole thing being done honestly for the benefit of a story. Like, oh, I want to get into this club, and you also do, but you're going to turn this into a story. So there's the benefit of the, like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird, right? Like, that's like your inspiration is this big ruse. But I have seen this. I have seen something like this before. There is a Vincent Price. It's funny. It's the only movie that has Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and John Carradine. So it's got the big four. And
which one is that? Have we seen a trailer? That sounds familiar.
We might have. It's for a movie called House of the Long Shadows. Okay. And it's again, because it has those four guys, you're like, oh my God, like, I have to see that movie. Like, that was the thing when I found out this movie existed, that it had those guys in it, and it was the only movie they were all in together. I was like, I have to see this movie. So I was disappointed because it is, I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, it's a mystery film that I'll just, long story short, it plays out a lot like tonight's movie. In that, it's this writer goes to this haunted house and he thinks it's going to be empty, but it turns out there's all these crazy people in it. There's all this stuff going on, but it was really just a ruse to, like, freak him out, to inspire him so he could write a play. And it's just like, I mean, in the 30s, it was common to cop out on your mystery or your horror. But in the 80s, which is when this movie was made, that's why it's especially disappointing, because, you're in the age of slashers. That was like why also it was notable, because they all had kind of stopped making horror movies in the 80s. Like, in the early 70s, they stopped making horror movies. All those guys, they kind of like took a step back. And so
came out of retirement for one
gig. Hurrah, kind of old fashioned. But it's a little too old fashioned for my taste. So, so yeah, I don't think anybody's a fan of mysteries that, it was all just a red herring. It was all, nothing bad actually happened, boo. So, I don't know, but there were some interesting dynamics here. So tonight's episode was enjoyable. So
it's interesting. I mean, it makes you think.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. It definitely does.
I mean, if nothing else.
Yeah. I think that it was, for, again, this is early 50s television, so, kept me in suspense, kept me interested, so it was pretty solid. So that's a pretty good way to spend the fourth episode of Suspense. We'll have a few more, but that was number 4, so we're moving right through them, and we are, of course, moving through season 11. I had to remember what season it was. I kind of started to forget. We're getting up there. That's why we needed a little bit of a makeover, because we're getting up there. So you want to kind of make sure that you're looking good, keeping up. So. But we're going to keep it up this Friday as we bring you a later film for the stream from the late 70s. We don't get a lot of movies from the late 70s. And this Friday, we're going to be watching 1978's The Astral Factor, a.k.a. Invisible Strangler, which... two very different titles. So
kind of give I mean, just on a first impression, those seem like two very different movies.
They do. I haven't seen Friday's film. I don't know. I mean, Invisible Strangler kind of tells you a lot, right? Like,
yeah,
Invisible Strangler gives, there's a,
I've got a pretty clear picture of what to picture there
right,
for
pretty,
that one.
pretty
Astro
on the
Factor?
nose. Astral Factor is a little more
could be anything.
Right. It's a little more dynamic. So I don't know.
It should just be Abstract Factor.
The Abstract Factor, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. I haven't seen it before. So again, anytime that there's a newer movie I haven't seen before, I'm excited. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, as always, Evan brings us a delicious cocktail to pair with the evening's film and a little segment which he calls...
What were you drinking?
What are we drinking on Friday, Evan?
Well, so this Friday we've got an Invisible Strangler, but we're going to be enjoying a Visible Radler. And I don't know, have we had any Radlers on this show?
I had never even heard of a Radler before. I don't even know what a Radler is.
Yeah, okay, so a Radler, and we'll talk about this more on Friday, but if you've ever heard of a Shandy, it's kind of the same thing. It's like usually some kind of light or blonde ale mixed half and half with fruit juice.
Okay.
Or lemonade, I think, for Shandies. But our drink this week, the Visible Radler, is going to be equal parts pumpkin ale and apple juice.
Okay, you're getting into the pumpkin. It's time. It's that time of year, right?
Yeah, it's pumpkin spice season, which is whatever, but it's also pumpkin ale season, which always gets me excited.
Give it up.
Yeah, we're gonna give this a try. Usually I think Radlers are more of a summer thing, but this is gonna be my autumn take on it. Pumpkin ale, apple juice, and also we're gonna throw in just a dash of cinnamon.
Ooh, okay, just a dash. Okay, you gotta be specific on that. Just a dash.
Right, yeah, not a pinch, not a punch, a dash.
So that would have been nice to know before I made the Instagram post for the recipe, and I could have put dash, but I didn't because I didn't.
Did you put equal parts pumpkin ale, apple juice, and cinnamon?
I separated them because I also had that thought of, are they gonna know? I figured they would know.
I don't.
But
I'm not trying to kill anybody here, okay?
I had enough trust. Our audience are very smart people, so I assume that they would know not to put equal parts cinnamon in with the rest of the ingredients of the cocktail.
We're not doing the cinnamon challenge.
No, we don't. Like you said, we don't want anybody dying. We don't want anybody throwing up. None of it. So.
Yeah, I think that drink. I think that's what I think that's what Paul Atreides drank when he saw the future.
Yeah. If cinnamon doesn't it have some psychedelic properties? Doesn't that cinnamon have some? I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, that should be good. So. Looking.
Yeah, and if you want to dress it up more, you can go crazy with your fall spices, like Kathy says. Maybe a little nutmeg, maybe some allspice, whatever you got on hand.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, we're not even. It's still September. I mean, obviously the leaves are changing. We're getting into fall, but like.
Yeah, it is officially. It is autumn.
Happy is it?
Equinox,
is it?
everybody.
Are we? Oh, okay. Happy Equinox. Look at Evan. Evan knows. Of course, Evan is on top of that stuff. Me, I'm clueless. But Evan.
Yeah, I keep track of the sun and the stars.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, somebody has to. I don't. Somebody's got to. No.
I'm ahead in the clouds.
Head in the clouds. That's what old head in the clouds Evan. That's what they called him back in the day. Yeah, old head in the clouds Evan. So we're looking forward to that cocktail. Looking forward to the movie. And of course, if you want to find that recipe, you can find that over on our Instagram page. We're over there at Scream Stream Show. We're also on TikTok and Twitter at Scream Stream Show. You can catch up on any of our past episodes over on our YouTube page at Scream Stream Live. So be sure to like and subscribe. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. It means a lot. Again, we're growing. We're trying to evolve, adapt, change, and so anything that you guys can do to get the word out, to bring more people in. We're closing in on the big 1K for YouTube. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So we need all the help we can get to kind of push into that.
One
last push to get to. Just need 100 more. So definitely tell your friends about us. If you're if you hang out with horror people, if you know there are some horror groups, some pages, some classic horror fans that that you hang out with, let them know we're out here. We're watching old horror movies. Spread the word about public domain horror.
It's the right time.
Evan is 100% right. It is the perfect time. So we hope to get everybody to come in and celebrate it with us, because we're trying to give you guys good stuff. And any suggestions, any comments, any feedback is really appreciated. Of course, you can find if you want to email us, if you have suggestions that don't fit on a comment, you can email us at screamstreamshow@gmail.com. Yes, I believe that's right. screamstreamshow@gmail.com. So please definitely hit us up if you've got anything for us. Really, really, really appreciate our audience, everybody that tuned in tonight. And of course, our tried and trues, our regulars. I love you guys, Kathy and Alana and Nice Fan and Sears and Wayne. And I hope I'm not missing anybody, but if I'm missing anybody, thank you so much for supporting us, watching, tuning in. It means a lot. Yeah. Oh, if you want to follow myself or Evan on the socials, you can find, how can I forget, right? You got to plug us. You got to remember to plug us, right? You can find me over on Twitter at Spakenstein, and Mr. Evan Sink is on Twitter and Instagram at Category Cursed. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
It turns out this whole show was just a ruse. A ruse to get you to subscribe so that you can join our club.
Gotcha. Until Friday, sweet screams, everybody.
Guys, you all a good Friday.